After 33 days, they've come to the last stop on this reality trip. And it's not a slum or factory or poverty-stricken village. The five have journeyed to the Sundarban, the world's largest mangrove forest, situated in the southwest of Bangladesh.
Oh, if I could bottle up that smell and take it home, I so would.
The Sundarban is a World Heritage Site and sanctuary to many threatened animals, including several hundred Bengal tigers.
So these channels, the water goes inside and the jungle inside gets the water. So tigers or any other animals, they come close to these channels to get their water.
Architect Iqbal Habib is also an environmental activist. He's brought the five to the Sundarban to show them how Bangladesh's garment industry can even have an impact here.
They're earning billions of dollars for the country. But along with that, the country became energy hungry because of the industrialization in a very fast way. As a result, we are encroaching even into this forest. In some places of the forest, they are planting huge power plants.
The government is planning to build coal-fired power plants here. The long-term effect could be the destruction of this pristine environment and the animals that live here.
The power plant being built here blows my mind. The garment industry's exponential growth, I didn't really make that connection before.
This area, the Sundarban, it's just beautiful. And the fact that they want to put a power plant here annoys me because I've just seen it at the most beautiful hour.
Kieran, who's never one to shy away from unpopular opinions, sees the other side of the coin.
Yes, it's bad that it's going here and it's going to be detrimental to the tigers, but if they don't put a power plant somewhere, then the industrial growth back in Dhaka and the main cities would slow down, and then work would go elsewhere, and you know, countries like China would be the first to put a power plant wherever they want.
As they drift downstream, Iqbal takes them to a part of the riverbank where tigers come to drink.
So this is the place where you have to be very, very silent and observe everything. And if you find that the birds are flying away, you have to be very cautious. Maybe tiger is around.
Being on the calm water, the sun coming up, hearing monkeys fighting in the forest and tiger paw prints.
Jodoye tumi, surjasteo tumi, o amar Bangladesh, priyo janmabhumi.
When Iqbal sung the song, it was just a very real moment. It really put everything together. Now that we're at the end of the trip and we've sort of been through all this and heard all the stories and met the people, it all just kind of came into one, that this is what it's all about.
I think it's the first time on this trip where I've had the time to just take deep breaths, let it out, and reflect on what's just happened.
It's been the reality trip of a lifetime. 5 weeks experiencing lives they could never have imagined back home in New Zealand. Working side by side with the locals and sharing moments that will stay with them forever. For Stevie, the highlight of the trip was in the Philippines when she and Anna persuaded Esther to leave her life as a rubbish picker in Tondo's slum and go back to her village to be reunited with her daughter after 15 years.
It was a cry of pure happiness. Just the way the daughter just screamed out, "Mama."
My favourite moment was by far in the Philippines when we were at a costume jewellery village, and when we got up the next day and just started playing around with the kids, they were just really happy, and it was fun.
But it's not all been fun. There's been hard work and real low points, like when Stevie lost it with the rest of the group at the cotton pickers village.
It's just frustrating because all I feel like saying is, wake up.
Hardest moment was just meeting these people, I think, and learning their difficulties.
There's been no one moment that I can really point to and just say I wanted to just get out. Except maybe that time I broke down in the mining field. But I wouldn't trade any of it for anything.
For Anna, her day at Rana Plaza stands out.
I feel so closely connected to the garment industry myself. So going to the place and just seeing what an absolute tragedy it was, I just felt devastated.
It's been hard, but at the same time it's been the happiest moments of my life.
Relationships within the group have been constantly changing. Now that it's almost over, where do they stand?
At this point, I'd consider everyone in the group, we're all friends.
Beck's probably pretty blunt and say I won't have a friendship with Pete after this.
I definitely think that I will keep up with Anna the most.
I don't think I will keep in seriously close contact with anyone forever.
And for two people who couldn't be more dissimilar in their political views, Kieran and Stevie will probably stay in touch.
As the journey's gone on, he's kind of become the person I find myself wanting to hang out with, just for the fact that we have good conversation.
After so many insights into other people's lives, what have they learnt about their own?
Before I came on this trip, I was in a place where I wasn't doing a heck of a lot. I was kind of spending time because I wanted to get rid of it. I think coming out here, that won't be enough. I have to be doing something now.
I think that just the trip as a whole has made me think how I should just try harder to be the nicer person to be around. Don't be a prick, to put it bluntly.
What I've come to realise is I overconsume. And that's not to say that it's wrong, but it is to say to think about it and to try cut back anyway, and to, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Being on this journey, it's kind of flipped my whole entire world upside down, to be honest. Because God, we've heard some extraordinary stories and met some incredible people, and I think this is something that has really just changed my life.
I'll take this home and I'll use it to my advantage, not just in my career, but in everyday life. And at this point, I can't give a lot physically, but I can spread the word. I do have a mouth, and it's a pretty good one.
Iqbal has a final message for all of them.
When you'll go back, all of you, none of you can sleep if you don't do anything for the mankind. You are the change maker. So take it inside and do whatever you can. Then your life will be meaningful. That I've done something, somewhere. One of the change maker for the world.
Six months have passed and they've resumed their normal lives in New Zealand. What effect has the reality trip had on them? Has it changed them? Stephanie had a black belt in shopping and admitted her hard-working parents had spoilt her rotten.
I moved out of home, I got a new job at a property firm, so now I'm a young corporate professional. And I don't shop as much as I used to.
Kieran's competitive streak drove him to be the best in his work, but his partner and son didn't get his full attention.
I've got my ass into gear and proposed to Marissa and made a decent woman out of her, and we've also welcomed our beautiful baby daughter Mila. I think being in the Philippines and seeing all the families there, especially in the village we stayed, sort of hit home that how important family is.
Anna's strong opinions on the exploitation of people conflicted with her love of clothes and career as a fashion journalist.
I've donated half my clothes to charity. I've stopped buying from brands that I think contribute hugely to the problems over there. And I have started my own little personal mission in Bangladesh to try and improve the way that workers are treated.
Peter escaped the Christchurch earthquakes and was living with his parents in Auckland, and his life was dominated by computers.
I've managed to just dive headfirst into my work. I've been offered a full-time position. I've moved out of home, and I'm starting a whole bunch of projects that I'm really passionate about.
Helping to bring up her sisters and brother kept Stevie grounded, but she'd become self-absorbed in her studies and future career as a social worker.
Now I'm able to appreciate the little things and live life a lot more simply than I once did, and just be content with what I have and not worry about what I don't have.